the theory portion of this course, you will get a lot of information regarding all these type of livestock and fishes. So, um, I would like to know who is conducting this theory course. এই থিওরি কোর্সটা কে নিচ্ছে?
স্যার মোহাম্মদ আলী স্যার, শেরেবাংলা কৃষি বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়।
বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় মোহাম্মদ আলী স্যার। স্যার কি ক্লাস শুরু করেছেন?
রমজানে ক্লাস শুরু করছে স্যার।
আচ্ছা, বুঝতে পেরেছি। ঠিক আছে। Another thing, I text you guys earlier that I want you to join in the um, Zoom platform using your student ID only. Eh? So if you have your name beside your ID, or if there are space in between, please edit them if possible today during class, or if not possible now, then before the next class, because that helps in giving your attendance easily. Eh? Otherwise I have to do it manually. So ওভাবে আইডিটা দিলে I can do that uh, in few seconds. That helps me. So actually the syllabus for this course, especially for the lab course, is very limited, not that much vast. And we will discuss about the syllabus today and try to have an overview of the content we will conduct. Um, have you all been to Bangladesh National Zoo by this time? তোমরা মোস্টলি যে থাকবা আমার ধারণা, যাওনি এমন কেউ আছো? মোস্ট প্রবাবলি নেই। আবার নাও নাও যাওয়া হয়ে থাকতে পারে, কারণ প্লেসটাও তো আরামদায়ক না, কাজে অনেকে হয়তো যেতে চায় না। অ্যান্ড হাউ মেনি ফরেনার্স ইন ইউর ক্লাস?
4 জন স্যার।
4 জন আছে, ওকে। ওকে, ফাইন। So let's have an overview of our syllabus. So we have 4 experiments by name. 4টা experiment আছে by name, and we can discuss in detail of these experiments. In fact, the first one is the psychology and behavior of common wildlife zoo. Laboratory and aquatic animals. So এখানে আমাদের our focusing point is to know the psychology and behavior of all these animals. We have different kind of animals. So we'll try to be focused on some specific animals because, as you know, the zoo wildlife, it's a vast area. We cannot cover everything. So based on the animals available in our country and based on their attractiveness or attraction to the tourist, etc., and maybe of importance, we may discuss some. The first thing comes in mind when we talk about zoo or wildlife, wild animals, is the Royal Bengal tiger. So here we have some description of the tiger. This is theoretical knowledge. In fact, everything in this syllabus is based on theory. We have one opportunity to visit some place that relate to this course, but as I am not available in Bangladesh, I don't know whether Mohammad Ali sir can arrange. I will talk to your chairman. So if he can arrange with collaboration with our department, then you may have the chance to visit National Zoo or somewhere else. সো হাউএভার এখানে কিছু পয়েন্ট উল্লেখ করা আছে, যেমন রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার্স দে আর সলিটারি ইন নেচার, দ্যাট মিনস দে লাভ টু বি অ্যালোন বাই দেমসেলফ। হ্যাঁ, তারা কিন্তু প্রাইড মেনটেন করে না। প্রাইড বা আমরা যেটা ইন কেস অফ ক্যাটেল অর শিপ উই কল ইট হার্ড, HERD, হার্ড। হার্ড টার্মের সাথে তোমরা পরিচিত, যে দলবদ্ধ হয়ে যে থাকার বিষয়টা, বা একটা দল, গ্রুপ অফ এনিম্যালকে হার্ড বলে। একইভাবে যখন আ গ্রুপ অফ লায়ন অথবা টাইগার, তাদেরকে বলা হয় প্রাইড। সো টাইগার মূলত প্রাইডে থাকে না, দে আর সলিটারি অ্যানিমালস। দে মেইনটেইন দেয়ার টেরিটরি. So, if you are habituated with watching videos from maybe Discovery or National Geographic channels, you might have noticed that all one point is they are solitary animal. That means they love to be live alone. Another thing is that they maintain their territory or certain area that uh, they want to control that area, and actually they want to have the authority of hunting all the animals of that area, so that other intruders or other animal or other tiger cannot come into that area. That is why they maintain the territory. And also, of course, have the authority over all the females on that region. So that is the two reason they maintain their territory. They are natural hunters, as you know, and they have some ways of communication, like the vocalization they use or the body signs they use for communication. The Royal Bengal tigers typically mate throughout the year. তারা একটা ইয়ারলি reproducer আর কি। All through the year they can reproduce, but with the peak mating activity often occurring during the cooler months. কুলার মান্থসের সময় পিক reproductive or mating activity হয়. The reason is that if they mate during cooler months, the cubs or the newborns, they will born during the maybe warm season, huh? And that season is suitable for them to thrive. বাচ্চাগুলোর বেঁচে থাকার জন্য ওই সিজনটা বেশি উপযোগী, not the cool season, the warm season. That is why they have adapted to this kind of situation. Similar to the goat and sheep, as you know, they also try to maintain this kind of cycle, so that the newborn borns in such an environment that helps them to thrive. The males and females come together temporarily for mating only, with males traveling long distance to seek out receptive females, and after mating the males has no role in raising the cubs. Actually, last year I have conducted this course as well, and for the question type of this kind of course, I would prefer to go for the multiple choice answer or the fill in the gaps true false answer. One example can be, as you know, the cubs are the baby of the tiger, huh? So a question may come in this format, that the a newborn of tiger is known as dash, huh? So you have to just write their cubs, this kind of information. So there are many information regarding their breeding season, their role in like raising cubs, then the parental care, who cares, how they adapt to environment, what are the threats, etc. points, সবগুলো পয়েন্ট থেকে কিন্তু প্রশ্ন আসতে পারে. That is why you need to be careful when reading the stuffs. সো এখানে ডেসক্রিপটিভ আরো কিছু পয়েন্ট দেওয়া আছে, এগুলো তোমরা দেখে নিও. আই হোপ কোনো সমস্যা হবে না, আর সমস্যা হলে আই এম হিয়ার টু রেসপন্স লেটার অন. Another species is the elephant. The Asian elephant is common in Bangladesh. If you have ever visited um, Dula Hazra National Eco Park in Cox's Bazar, yeah, there you may get to see this kind of elephants, um, like in wild condition, because there are no territory specified for the animals, and they are like roaming around, and you may have the chance to see them if they come out nearby. So এখানে একইভাবে এলিফ্যান্টের বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো দেওয়া আছে এশিয়ান এলিফ্যান্টের, এটা তোমরা দেখে নিও. দ্য স্পটেড ডিয়ার, অথবা আমরা যেটাকে চিত্রা হরিণ বলি, হ্যাঁ, এটা আমাদের সুন্দরবনের খুবই একটা অ্যাট্রাকটিভ এবং কমন অ্যানিমাল, যারা বাঘের শিকার মূলত. তো এই অ্যানিমেলটার বাংলাদেশের প্রেক্ষাপটে ইকোনমিক ইম্পর্টেন্স আছে এটার, যেহেতু পর্যটকদের অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে প্রচুর পরিমাণে, কাজে ইকোনমিক ইম্পর্টেন্স আছে, সাথে সাথে বায়োডাইভার্সিটির সাথেও এটা চমৎকারভাবে জড়িত. এর বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো তোমরা দেখে নিও. ডিয়ার, ওকে. We have the crocodiles, Asian crocodiles, which are relatively smaller in size than the exotic crocodiles or the alligators. Uh, we have this stuff. So lion, although lion is not a wild animal for our country, but it is a common animal in the zoo condition. জুতে আমরা বিশেষ করে আফ্রিকা থেকে লায়ন ইম্পোর্ট বা এক্সচেঞ্জ হয়ে থাকে উইথ মেবি আদার অ্যানিমালস, লাইক উই মে গিভ দেম বেঙ্গল টাইগার অ্যান্ড দে গিভ আস লায়ন ইন এক্সচেঞ্জ. এই ধরনের এক্সচেঞ্জ প্রোগ্রামও আছে. তো যে লাইনগুলো আছে সেগুলোর বৈশিষ্ট্য এখানে দেওয়া আছে, দেখে নিও. এখানে একটা ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমাল মাইস, হুইচ ইজ আ ভেরি কমন ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমাল অ্যান্ড অফ রিয়েলি গ্রেট ইম্পর্টেন্স ফর দ্য এক্সপেরিমেন্ট পারপাস. তার কিছু বৈশিষ্ট্য দেওয়া আছে, তাদের রিপ্রোডাকশন অ্যান্ড ম্যাটার্নাল কেয়ার, অথবা তোমার জেস্টেশন পিরিয়ড, তারপরে স্ট্রাস সাইকেল, এভাবে দেওয়া আছে. One point to like focus here, why this animal, a question may come in this format, that why the laboratory mice is considered to be a very suitable laboratory animal. হ্যাঁ, এই মাইসটা কেন খুব সুইটেবল ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমাল হিসেবে কনসিডার করা হয়? ইফ ইউ লুক অ্যাট দেয়ার স্ট্রাস সাইকেল, they come into stress every 4 to 5 days. That means there is chance or option for making them pregnant every 4 to 5 days. So the cycle is very short, and also the gestation period is around only 19 to 21 days. So if we want to have any experiment regarding the next generation, next generation আমরা যদি কোনো ইফেক্ট দেখতে চাই, তাহলে কিন্তু এই ধরনের ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমাল ইজ রিয়েলি হেল্পফুল. মাত্র 19 থেকে 21 দিন পরেই উই উইল গেট দ্য নেক্সট জেনারেশন অফ দ্য মাইস, অ্যান্ড উই ক্যান সি দ্য effect of our experimental design, which takes in cattle around 1 year, তাই না? উম, এবং আহ, অন্যান্য রুমিনেন্ট অ্যানিমেল, ইভেন লার্জ নন রুমিনেন্টেও it takes long. But if we use this kind of laboratory animal, we can see the effect really quick. ড্রসোফিলা নামে আরেকটা ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমেল আছে, এখানে কি আছে? নাই, ওকে. সো আমি হয়তো তোমাদেরকে ড্রসোফিলাও প্রোভাইড করব। সো ড্রসোফিলার নাম তোমরা জেনে থাকতে পারো, যেটা কমনলি নোন অ্যাজ ফ্রুট ফ্লাই, হ্যাঁ, ফলের মাছি। বিশেষ করে বাংলাদেশে যদি আম অথবা কাঁঠাল এগুলো আ কিছুক্ষণ টেবিলের উপর রেখে দেওয়া হয়, তাহলে দেখা যায় এক ধরনের ছোট, ছোট ফ্লাই আসে। Those are known as Drosophila. That is also a excellent laboratory animal. কারণ একই রকম, their genetic makeup is quite similar to the human, as like as the mice. And another thing is that their reproductive cycle is really short, and it is really inexpensive to rear them. হ্যাঁ, এসব কনসিডার করে ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমেল চুজ করা হয় কিন্তু। সো আই উইশ যে তোমরা by yourself you will study, because you are on fourth year right now. Yeah. So you have to understand mm, the way you should get by yourself, for study, for earning of opportunity, everything. uh, I would say you are mature enough to do so. So এগুলো তোমরা দেখে নিও। Our second experiment is called the restraining tools for. So you are familiar with the restraining of large animals, like cattle, or animals like sheep, goat, etc. Because in case of our country, um, if we do not handle animal all the year through, but once in a year, like when it is the occasion of Idul Adha, we get to see the restraining of animal at least once in a year. So that is what is exactly about the wild animals as well. The wild animals are being restrained to mm, treat them or to have sampling from them, maybe for some experimental purpose, or maybe if we want to breed them in captive condition, we also go for restraining. There are different kind of restraining tools, and it depends on the country of origin, or the animals available nearby, হ্যাঁ। ধরো যে বাংলাদেশে যে ওয়াইল্ড অ্যানিমালস গুলো আছে, লার্জ অথবা স্মল বোথ, সাউথ কোরিয়াতে ওয়াইল্ড অ্যানিমেল গুলো কিন্তু ভিন্ন ধরনের। So their equipment would be also different. So there are some equipments which are universally used, and there are some locally produced equipment as well, uh, depending on the demand of the locality. So আমাদের বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে লোকালি প্রডিউসড যে ইকুইপমেন্ট গুলো আছে, সেগুলো অনেক সময় ইয়াতে জুতে অথবা ওয়াইল্ড কন্ডিশনে ফর ক্যাপচারিং দ্য ওয়াইল্ড ক্রিয়েচার্স ইউজ করা হয়ে থাকে। স্পেশালি উই প্রিপেয়ার দিস কাইন্ড অফ ইকুইপমেন্ট বাই কপিইং দ্য জেনুইন ভার্সন। হ্যাঁ, জেনুইন ভার্সনকে কপি করে অনেক সময় এই ধরনের লো কস্ট ইকুইপমেন্ট বাংলাদেশে তৈরি করা হয়ে থাকে। সো হাউএভার, উই হ্যাভ দ্য ক্যাচ পোল অর স্নেয়ার পোল যেটাকে বলা হয়। You can see here there is opening, and this opening, in the second picture you can see this animal has been restrained by handling through this equipment, which is known as the snare pole or catch pole. We can use nets as well for capturing wild creatures, or animal grasper or tongs. This is an example of tong or animal grasper. This kind of equipment also used to handle snake as well. So এগুলো আছে। In addition, we have the chute, the squeeze chute, which is used in case of horse, in case of buffalo, cattle, etc. Large animal which are difficult to হ্যান্ডেল। হ্যাঁ, এগুলো হ্যান্ডেলিং এর সময় ইউজ করা হয়। অ্যাজ ইউ ক্যান সি ইন দ্য পিকচার, দেখো এখানে একটা ক্যাটেলকে ভ্যাকসিনেট করা হবে, বাট ইট বিকামস রিয়েলি laborious or dangerous for the handler to vaccinate this kind of large and aggressive animals. So what they do, they like push the animal somehow inside this crate or chute, and when the head comes out, are some facility to lock the head. এই হেড পোর্শনে যখন লক করে দেওয়া হয়, দ্য অ্যানিমেল ক্যান নট টার্ন অ্যারাউন্ড অর ক্যান নট রান অ্যাওয়ে। সো নাও দ্য হ্যান্ডলার হ্যাভ দ্য clear vision of the maybe the blood veins or the neck muscle to vaccinate, or if there is any special treatment needed in the horn or in the hooves, they can do it easily. So this is one kind of restraining tool. The darting gun, you must have heard the name of this item. So this is a gun, darting gun, and this is a dart tube. What they do in wild conditions, like in a safari park, there is a case of one elephant is sick, and we need to treat them, otherwise the elephant may gonna die. But the animal is reacting so bad that we cannot reach there. So what the authority usually do, that they dart the animal from far away. হ্যাঁ, এই ডার্টিং গান দিয়ে ডার্ট করে, and there are immobilization solution inside this darting tube. So when this tube goes to the body and puncture the body of the animal, it releases the chemicals, and that is when the animal become docile or subconscious. Then they can go there and treat the animal. Uh, that is how it works. We have hobble for horse, and we have harness for restraining the dog. Mm. Sometimes it becomes difficult if we have only one uh, neck chain for dogs to handle with, but if we have harness like this, the dog become docile because a lot of control goes to the handler. এখানে আরো কিছু ডিটেলস লেখা আছে, ওটা তুমি পড়ে নিও। আদার দেন দিস, উই কমনলি ইউজ দ্য হ্যান্ড গ্লোভস ডিউরিং হ্যান্ডলিং animals, especially pet animals. If we consider cats, really difficult to handle. If that cat is not wishing to be docile, they are really agile. You cannot control a cat. So that time this kind of gloves is really important to have, otherwise it would make 100 of scratches in your hand. And additionally, there are trap boxes, there are trap, a special kind of trap which is known as the leg hole trap. This is for this kind of a small animal only. So this is actually depending on situation and depending on the type of animal we have and or we want to capture, and তার উপর vary করতে পারে. Some common tools used to restrain laboratory animals. The tools for laboratory animals are totally different from the tools for wild animals, because here we need very much specification. আমাদের স্পেসিফিকেশনটা এখানে খুব বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, because we may deal with some chemicals, we may deal with collecting blood sample or nasal sample, or we are maybe treating with diseased animal. That is why the precision is really important. So we have the rodent restrainer tube, this one. This is for the uh, mice and rats to restrain. The decapicone is used to decapitate the mice easily. একটা মাইসকে মাথাটা অনেক সময় মানে এক্সপেরিমেন্টের স্বার্থে হয়তো স্লটার করতে হয় বা কেটে ফেলতে হয়, সেক্ষেত্রে ডিপিক্যাপিকন ইজ হেল্পফুল। এছাড়া ইফ উই ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ সাম নেজাল ট্রিটমেন্ট, হ্যাঁ, then this kind of facility known as the nose cones and anesthesia mask, these are also used. We have guillotine. Okay, this is an alternative to the decapicon. তোমরা এখানে যেটা দেখলা এটার মাধ্যমে the head is detached through this equipment as well. Cervical dislocation tool. This is used in case of chicken. This tool, they dislocate the cervical uh, aerial bones of chicken so that the chicken die pretty quickly. Mm. So this kind of equipment are being used for to restrain. Other than these, we have cage restrainers, very common. The principle here, if you look here, the cat really difficult to handle, as I mentioned. Uh, Once the cat is inside, we can push this portion of the net, and once it is pushed enough, the cat will not have enough space to turn around or react badly. Now the handler can treat the cat easily. Tail vein injection device. This device is especially designed so that the tail comes out of the tube, and this is easier to have some blood collection or treating with some chemicals to the mouse. Immobilization chamber is also used to immobilize the sampling animals or rats or mice before going for further experiment. So এই ধরনের এক্সপেরিমেন্টের টুল ইউজ করা হয়। And some other tools for restraining aquatic animals, we have the grasper or tongs, যেটা আমরা this is a kind of eel fish, and we also use it for snake as well, as I mentioned earlier. And wet table is very common for sampling of fishes, yeah, or aquatic animals. This kind of wet table comes along with some washing facility, so that during sampling there is minimum chance of contamination or dirtiness. And we have some other equipments as well for the restraining of aquatic animals, and some other tools to restrain aquatic animals, and also for the safety of the handler, the containment tank. তোমরা যদি বিভিন্ন পুকুরের কালার্ড যে ফিশগুলো আছে সেগুলো হ্যান্ডেলিং করা দেখো, অথবা মাদার পাঙ্গাস হুইচ ওয়ে অ্যারাউন্ড 100 kilos ইচ ফিশ, হ্যাঁ, তাদেরকে ফর দ্য টাইম বিং, ইফ উই আর ট্রাভেলিং দেম ফ্রম ওয়ান স্পট টু অ্যানাদার, or if we are collecting their eggs outside the pond, then we use this kind of facility. Lift nets or deep nets, we know this very well. The water is the safety equipment for the fisherman or for the handler. And this is gonna be the last experiment of this course. Yeah, there is only three, in fact. Number four is the field visit. So this is the identification and demonstration of different species of zoo and wild animals. So the purpose of this topic or experiment is to let you know which animals looks like what, হ্যাঁ, কোন অ্যানিমেলটা দেখতে কি রকম, so that you when you see in real life you can recognize, সেটা বলা হয়েছে আইডেন্টিফিকেশন অ্যান্ড ডেমনস্ট্রেশন, so that you can recognize that this is the animal named this one, and also that you know its characteristics, which are in detail in experiment 1 এ লেখা আছে, যেমন for Royal Bengal tiger or for the spotted deer, what is their breeding season, how long do they live, what is their feeds, how do they breed, what is their gestation period, stress period, etc. Information you should have knowledge over these. So here the first point of focus is zoo animals, some of the common zoo animals in Bangladesh. So we have Royal Bengal tiger, we have the spotted animals, we have rhesus monkey, yeah, macaw in our um, Bangladesh National Zoo. If you go, you will definitely see this one because a really entertaining portion of the zoo. And we have Asian elephants in our zoos. In many zoos, the regional, the national, we have elephant everywhere. And we also do have the hippopotamus, যেটা বাংলায় আমরা জলহস্তি বলি. And their mouth is really big. If you have ever any chance to go close to hippopotamus, you will see like that is really huge. Okay, so here is one thing I have mentioned, that is the difference between the African elephant and the Asian elephant. There is a picture of their trunk. Trunk means the this pipe like structure, যেটাকে আমরা বাংলায় সুর বলি, তাই না? If you look at the tip of the trunk in case of African elephant, there are two tips, one and two, right? But in case of Asian elephants, you will see this is just one tip here. So and this is the difference in the trunk structure. There are some other difference as well. This is the African and this is the Asian elephant. So the ears are large in case of African, and the ears are small and rounded in case of Asian elephant. The trunks have two and one finger like grasping. Head is single domed. Yeah, in this picture it is clear. This is the dome of the head, right? The Asian elephant has double domed or twin domed head, whereas the African has a single domed head. Height is greater in case of the African, and weight is also greater. That means they are larger than the Asian elephants. Other than that, we have the peafowl in our zoo. We have waterfowl. We have um the waterfowl itself is not any bird. Waterfowl নিজে কোনো পাখি না, but it includes duck, geese, swan, etc. And we have crocodiles, ghorial, etc. also in our farm. Sorry, not farm, in our zoo. So common zoo animals in Bangladesh includes the crocodile and gharial, and there is alligator as well in our national zoo. So must have been imported from some other country. Here is a difference between the crocodile and alligator in their head shape, which one is V in crocodile and U in alligator, and also the visibility of the lower jaw teeth. The lower jaw teeth are visible in a crocodile, but in case of alligator, the teeth are hidden. And we have gharial, which is recognized by its long mouth structure in gharial. Crocodile and the alligator we have already discussed. One is V and another one is U-shaped. We have some birds like the eagle, owl, hawk, and so many other birds as well. We have reptiles like the rabbit, guinea pig, uh, hedgehog. Yeah. So this kind of animal we do have in our national zoo. And the wild boar is also common in wild condition. So second topic after wild animal, we are now talking about the wildlife found in Bangladesh: Bengal tiger, Asian elephant, rhesus macaw, spotted deer, and then we all have gone through these animals. The last one here is the Indian wild boar, which is kind of swine or pig. It looks like this. It have a characteristic teeth-like structure here, which is pretty long. Otherwise, in case of the domesticated pigs, they do not have this kind of extended teeth structure. And in case of birds, we have a lot of bird species as well. So these are the birds. We have snakes, and we have um, tortoise. So tortoise are kept as exotic pets in Bangladesh, appreciated for their longevity and unique appearance. So one thing to remember here and to remember forever, that there are difference in between tortoise and the turtle. So the creature that lives in the sea and that have the wing or buoy which is flipped and um, uh, which helps in swimming is available in turtle, but in case of tortoise, that wing is being uh, transferred, or we can say is being replaced by foot or feet. So because they do live in the land, they lives mainly on the land, they have the feet. This picture is clear difference between them two. The dome is really high in case of the tortoise, but it is relatively flattened in the turtle. And the wing like structure, এটাকে আমরা কি বলবো, ফিশের ক্ষেত্রে কি বলা হয় যেন, ফিন বলা হয় নাকি? Yeah. So this is different, as their function is also different. Oh, I see. We have another experiment, that is the identification and demonstration of pet and laboratory animals. Okay. So I think we can uh, wrap up today, and we should start in the next class to conduct this experiment. This is only one. Oh, I see. Number five. Ah, okay. Okay, so we have two remaining experiments to discuss with, and number six is non-existing for the time being. So that's all for today. I will conduct this class again in next week, same time. And tomorrow we'll have class at the 7 p.m. Yeah, tomorrow we will discuss on our another course, which is breeder farm and hatchery management, perhaps. Um, okay. Do you have any question? Not maybe. Okay. Right now you may not have any question, but later on when, oh, later on when you do study with these stuffs, you may get question. So ask me anytime regarding any curiosity you have of this topic, and try to. I'll provide the material next week after completing the whole syllabus. Then you will have enough time to read and give me feedback of any queries. So thank you for participating the class. If you do not have any special uh, mm, okay, so if you do not have any question, then we may end the session today. Okay.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so